Hello, my friends, welcome back. Today I have a little garden cleanup. I have been go on containers and my garden is feeling a little neglected. So we're gonna do a little to-do list today, a little tidy up. And then if we have time, I'm gonna show you something. It's right over there. I have managed to grow a chamomile forest, which I'm not particularly mad about. I love chamomile. I love making my own teas, as many of you know. And so I was doing some thinking about what I'm going to do with all of this chamomile because I need to make way for some veggies up here. And I'm going to transplant it. I'm going to take it down to the cut flower garden where I have planted some tomatoes. And I was doing some research online. Turns out chamomile and tomatoes are companion plants. So I'm going to throw it down there with my tomatoes so I can continue my chamomile harvest and have a new little friend for my tomatoes. So we're going to start our day with a little weeding and cutting back all of my spent tulips. If you are new to the bulb game and this is your first season growing tulips and daffodils and all those great things, essentially what you're going to want to do is as soon as that flower is done and it's withered and it's spent, you're simply going to trim that back. You need to leave the foliage because we still need to have energy going back to the bulb so it has a beautiful bloom next year, but we can certainly get rid of that spent bloom. Well, that was deeply satisfying. I feel very good about that. The birch tree that lives right there is a hot mess. It is constantly dropping a little bit of everything in this garden. And what I was noticing is that it drops like 8 million of these little catkins. and they are now seeding baby birch trees everywhere. So I feel really good that I got a ton of that up. I got a ton of the weeds removed, a ton of those little baby birches off to the compost heap. Next up, I'm going to tackle the chamomile. Now, the last time I transplanted chamomile, it got like a little like Lolita, I'm having a meltdown moment, but it all sprang back, which is wonderful. So I'm going to move that next to the backyard for its new home amongst the tomatoes. And I want to show you really quick, this is what I'm talking about here. This guy and this little guy here, these are baby birch trees. So when you see me picking up microscopic little weeds, this is actually what I'm pulling out of the ground, because I do not need 100 birch trees growing in this front garden. Well, hey friends, okay, this is the next adventure on the docket for today. This is what we are referring to as the chamomile forest. This chamomile has gotten so tall and so lovely, and I had a really, really fun time harvesting on this. It's actually just setting blooms, which is so, so fun. So what I'm gonna do is I have my trug here. I'm gonna go ahead and dig up as much of the root ball as possible, pop it in my trug, and then we're gonna take it down to the cut flower garden and put it in its new home. Okay, I have an insanely large bucket of chamomile on my hands. Look at this bad ride. I'm digging this up and I'm noticing that the root system is pretty delicate, so I'm not entirely sure how successful this transplanting venture will be, but I'm gonna try it anyways, because here's the scoop. In gardening, you really just never know until you try, and it may be an incredible success. So let's head back. So welcome back to the cut flower garden. I have been making, I think, some pretty good success here. I have 3 rows fully weeded, and I've been slowly but surely digging up, dividing, replanting dahlias. I also have a row of veggies that I put in behind me. I planted some tomatoes, and I also have some peppers and tomatillos going in. I also have some gladiolas that are off to the races. And next up, we are gonna put the chamomile in with my tomatoes and give them a new home. So this may seem like I am squishing them in, but I actually only have these tomatillos and peppers temporarily placed here. I put them underneath an emitter right along the drip line because I didn't have a chance to plant them yet. So I wanted to make sure they at least get watered and intention before they get in the ground. And actually, as I'm doing this, you know what I'm kind of thinking? I'm kind of thinking that maybe I need to cut these down completely while they get reestablished in their new home. See, oh, actually, those are not bad. Okay. All right. Cool. One down, a whole forest to go. I don't know if you guys can see this. That's our sweet little ladybug friend. There she goes. Okay, we are looking very sad. So wilty. I may actually end up cutting the tops off of these bad boys, but I will tell you, every time you transplant chamomile, it looks like this. It looks like a hot mess, like you are about ready to just murder it. So I'm not too terribly worried about it, but I still actually may cut off their tops just so it gives their root system less work. Okay, and as tempted as I am to show you this goodness over here, I'm gonna resist. I'm gonna resist. You have to stay tuned for the May Garden Tour. Welcome to spring in Seattle. We're 80 degrees one day, now it's like 60 and raining. It's fine. What I am not pleased with is what I'm finding down here. So it's the next day. You saw me transplant these. They were all wilty. I was like, you know, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna give them a chop. And I will tell you right now, I've got a little bugger in my garden and I am feeling quite miffed. Yes, I have bunnies and they are adorable and also complete and utter monsters. I will bring you in close and I will show you, but essentially they have started deadheading all my chamomile for me. Okay, first of all, let's just look at the carnage. They didn't even eat it. This is what kills me. They didn't even eat it. They just chopped it off. So what I'm seeing is this is all the bunny damage. It is literally down both rows. I don't know. You guys, I'm gonna have to figure something out here. But they've gotten after it. So there we are. Everyone's had a nice little haircut, much less weight on their top. And actually everything is a little bit, there were some of them that were super perky still. So other than thinking through my bunny situation, I think that's it for me today. I'm gonna see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me.